Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to English Literature and Language with A.S.Soomro. Today we would like to discuss the age of Jeoffrey Chaucer. In previous topic we discussed the Anglo-Norman period, and today we are going to discuss the political events, literary features and major writers of this age. If you have not got subscribed my channel, do subscribe it, hit the bell icons so you never miss an update. The age of Jeoffrey Chaucer, which is also called the 14th century Middle English, and this period starts from 1100 to 1500. Jeoffrey Chaucer was an English poet, author, civil servant, and a diplomat. Jeoffrey Chaucer was also called the father of English literature. John Dryden called him father of English poetry. He lived through the reign of three English kings: Edward III, Richard II, Henry IV. And these all are the timelines of these different kings of England. Geoffrey Chaucer was born in 1314 in London. He died in 1400 in London. He was buried in the corner of Westminster. So far as education is concerned, he had got a degree of law. The father of Geoffrey Chaucer was John Chaucer, who was a wine merchant. His mother name was Agnes Copton, who was born with a silver spoon in her mouth from a rich family. His wife was Philippa de Roet, and he had only 4 children. So far as the career of Geoffrey Chaucer is concerned, let's take a look at the career of Geoffrey Chaucer. In 1357, he was appointed as a page, male servant, for Elizabeth de Burgh, Countess of Ulster. She married to Lionel of Antwerp, Duke of Clarence, son of Edward III. In this way, he came into court circle and remained there for the rest of his life. In 1360, Edward invaded France, so Chaucer was a soldier there in that army. In 1360, Chaucer was captured by French army and was released for 16 pounds ransom from Edward. Chaucer traveled to Spain, France, and Italy for diplomatic missions. In 1366, he married to Philippa de Roet. She was lady in waiting to Edward's queen. In 1378, Richard II sent Chaucer to Milan, where Chaucer met John Hawkeswood, and the knights, which are the characters in Canterbury Tales, was based on John Hawkeswood. Then he was sent to Kent, and he started writing Canterbury Tales from that time. In 1399, Richard II granted him with a pension of 20 pounds annually. In 1399, Richard II's kingship was overthrown by his cousin Henry IV, Duke of Lancaster, who was exiled to France. Henry IV renewed the grants assigned by Richard, but complained of Chaucer to his purse, hence that grants might not have been paid properly at the time when he was in hardships. Chaucer died on October 24, 1400. It is said that Chaucer was murdered by the enemies of Richard II, or Henry IV ordered to assassinate him. He was first to be buried in Westminster Abbey, which is nowadays called Poets' Corner. Relationship with John of Gaunt. Chaucer was an alter ego to John of Gaunt, the wealthy Duke of Lancaster, and the father of Henry IV. Near the end of their lives, as they became brothers-in-law, when in 1396 John married Catherine Swensford, sister of Philippa. Chaucer wrote during this time the Book of Duchess in elegy form on the death of his first wife, Blanche of Lancaster. So far as the historical events of this age are concerned, let us discuss them. The Hundred Years' War took place between England and France, which started from 1337 to 1453. It lasted for 160 years. Due to this war, social condition of the people was the worst, economy came down, political stability was in danger, heavy taxations were imposed upon peasant class, and there was a massive unemployment all around. People were frustrated and broke their backbone. Number two, Plague Death. This was a great event that started in 1348 till 1349. It was a kind of plague due to black rats. About 40% population of England died due to this plague. Second, next event was the Peasants' Revolt that started in 1381. It was the revolt of a peasants class against a down economy, unemployment, heavy taxations from the government imposed upon them, and corruption in church. Due to peasants' revolt, the decline in especially the feudal system started and the national consciousness rose from that time. Let's now discuss the literary works of Geoffrey Chaucer. Chaucer's literary works are divided into three categories. Number one, the French period. In this period, Chaucer imitated French writers. He was influenced by the Macaut, de Loris, and de Monk. His chief poems of this period are translation of Roman de la Rosa with a new name of the Romance of the Rose, a long allegorical poem having 8,000 lines. Number two, the Book of Duchess, written in 1369. It's an elegy poem written on the death of the first wife of John of Gaunt, a close friend of Chaucer. Number three, the Parliament of Fowls, written in 1382. Four minor poems, the Complaint unto Pity, the Complaint of Mars, Queen and Leda, the ABC, a prayer to the Virgin series of stanza in alphabet order. His themes were romance, life, love, irony, wit, and comic. The second period of Geoffrey Chaucer is the Italian period. During middle of his career, Chaucer paid many visits to Italy. He was greatly influenced by Dante, Petrarch, and Boccaccio. Renaissance was just starting in Italy at that time. His chief poems of this period are number one, The House of Fame, written in 2005 lines. It's a dream allegorical, satirical, comic, and first Italian work in fantasy. After number two, The Parliament of Fowls, written in 700 lines. It's a dramatic and satiric poem. Number three, Troilus and Cressida. It's an epic poem on womanhood. It's the longest poem about Trojan Wars, written in rhyme royal in 7 lines. Number four, The Legend of Good Women. It's a heroic couplet poem. In this poem, 10 different stories of women have been narrated. Number five, Poor Men and Arcite. The third main period of Geoffrey Chaucer is the English period that started from 1384 till 1390. This period stands supreme in his works. In this period, he only penned down for English language and English people and society. His very famous work of this period is the prologue to the Canterbury Tales, and there are total 24 different stories and three main prose in the Canterbury Tales. Let's discuss the themes of Chaucer's writings: faith and religion, heroes and heroines, gender and sexuality, myths, monsters and imagination, cavalry, royalty, and court. So far as the style of Geoffrey Chaucer is concerned, Chaucer mostly wrote in colloquial, in other words, common or general language. He also wrote in philosophy, characterization, individualism, originality, double meanings, objectivity, satire, sarcasm, descriptive, and narrative style. After that, his contemporaries, the other poets of this age of the Chaucer, are Geoffrey of Monmouth, Wace, Lehman, John Gower, and William Longland. The important facts about the Geoffrey Chaucer, which are mostly given in the papers of competitive exams, are: Chaucer was the first writer to be buried in corner of Westminster Abbey. Father of English literature is called Geoffrey Chaucer. Father of English language is also called the Geoffrey Chaucer. The morning star of the Renaissance is also called the Geoffrey Chaucer. John Dryden, the father of English criticism, called him father of English poetry. Chaucer's followers are known as Chaucerians. That's it. If you find this video useful, do subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Inshallah, in next topic we will discuss in detail the age of arrival. In the series of English literature, first my project is to complete the all periods, and then I will try my level best to throw the light upon all the major writers of these special periods, and then after inshallah I will start the grammar classes. Till today it's enough. God bless you. Thank you very much. Allah Hafiz.